Good morning to you all, and you're back to CC Pop Video Weekly, and to overwhelming demand of people saying they love the reactions of my previous reaction to Camila Sesto. I have followed it through with the song that was requested by not one but maybe two or three people, and it's called Si Me Dejas Ahora, which means If You Leave Me Now, and it was one of his most popular songs. I'm going to give you, as always, a little bit of bio about Camila, about the song, and then we'll get straight into it, and I have the lyrics in front of me. So it's all very straightforward today, which is the way I like it. He is Camilo Blanes Cortez, known professionally as Camilo Sesto, and was a Spanish singer-songwriter and music producer. The singer claimed to have sold more than 175 million records. There are various sales figures for him ranging from 70 to 200 million, and however his actual sales would represent more than 2.8 million copies worldwide, including nearly 900,000 certified. Either way, this man was a composer, wrote songs for artists such as Angela Carrasco, Miguel Bosé, Luis Mendez, and various others, Jose amongst others. He also produced and translated to English the lyrics of an album by the popular Australian rock band Air Supply. And throughout his career, he remained one of the most influential pioneer artists of pop and rock in Spanish that would inspire many newer acts in the Latin music world, as well as across Europe, the Americas, and Asia. He was a phenomenon in his own right. We're also going to give you a little bit now about the song If You Leave Me. It is the title of the 14th studio album recorded by Mexican performer Jose Jose. It was released on the Arce Victor label record in October 1979. And for the third time, he's in charge of the production of some of his recordings, together with Camila Sesto. Excuse me, everyone. This becomes one of the most successful and best-selling albums of his career. Jose, that is, continuing his streak of success and placing songs If You Leave Me Now, While It Rains, Frankness, and others in a decade that saw him shine. But as well as Jose, the music producer and singer-songwriter Camila Sesto performed it live, and that is the version that we are going to look at now. We're going to sit back and savor a man that sold multi-millions of records throughout Latin countries. Why? Take a listen and you'll find out. Even after his death, because he was from 64 to 2019 performing, always performing, even from a young boy right up. The guy is still in the hearts and minds and souls of many Spanish speaking or Latino speaking people. He's so popular even today, and I get a great reaction every time I do one of his singles. So for those people who particularly asked for this is for you. This is a dedication to you. And to all the Spanish people that are listening, don't forget my channel includes many videos of many artists around the world, including Monica Naranjo and others from Spain, but also many artists that the videos have been translated into Spanish. So do press those buttony things, like, comment, subscribe, join my channel, and enjoy music from all around the world, because they're all translated, okay? So take it away, Camilo, with the live version of Si Me Dejas Ahora, If You Leave Me Now.
Si me dejas ahora, no seré capaz de sobrevivir. Me encadenaste a tu falda y enseñaste a mi alma a depender de ti. Ataste mi piel a tu piel y tu boca a mi boca. Clavaste tu mente en la mía como una espada en la roca. Y ahora me dejas como si fuera yo cualquier cosa. Si me dejas ahora, no seré capaz de volver a sentir. Me alejaste de todo y ahora dejas que me hunda en el lodo. Me cuesta tanto creer que no tengas corazón, que yo he sido en tu cadena de amor tan solo un eslabón, y en tu escalera un peldaño al que no te importa pisar y hacerle daño. Estoy preso entre las redes de un poema. Eres tú quien me puede ayudar o me condena. Eres lo mejor de mi pasado. Eres tú quien aún me tiene enamorado. Eres tú, solo tú. Eres tú, solo tú. Si me dejas ahora, mi espíritu se irá tras de ti, cabalgará día y noche, sintiéndose soñador y Quijote, porque ataste mi piel a tu piel y tu boca a mi boca, clavaste tu mente en la mía como una espada en la roca, y ahora me dejas como si fuera yo cualquier cosa. Estoy preso entre las redes de un poema. Eres tú quien me puede ayudar o me condenas. Eres lo mejor de mi pasado. Eres tú quien aún me tiene enamorado. Eres tú, solo tú. Eres tú, solo tú. Estoy preso entre las redes de un poema. Eres tú quien me puede ayudar o me condena. Eres tú, solo tú. Eres tú, solo tú. Eres tú, solo tú. Eres tú, solo tú.
And I think we'll leave it there. It's one of the best recordings of that song. I have to say, I feel very lucky getting that and bringing it to your attention as well. An incredible singer, very relaxed. He's got that voice. It's so soothing. If You Leave Me Now, it's called in English. Verse 1, if you leave me now, I won't be able to survive. You chained me to your skirt, and you taught to my soul to be dependent of you. And verse 2, and you tied my skin to your skin, and your mouth to my mouth. Because you could see Camilio during that touching his mouth, because he lives the words, he felt the words of the songs that he wrote and performed. He always did, and he always looked immaculate, and it was very old worldly now, where, you know, the tie or the bow tie or the suit was favourable with a lot of male artists. I think Tom Jones was one of the people that led the way with the shirt buttons down and the shirt open, and he tried to make things more sexier. But back onto this, you nailed your mind to mine like a sword into a rock, and you leave me as if I were anything. If you leave me now, I won't be able to feel again, it continues. You made me be away from everything, and now you let me to sink in the mud. So it's a flowing situation between two people of The woman in his life, he's been dependent on her love. He loves the company. He just excels in her company. You know, when two people are together and there's one person that just feels, wow, the other person can either feel like that or they can feel, okay, I'm together, but you know, in an hour I'll be gone. And it's that kind of relationship. And he says, and he admits in verse 1, and you taught to my soul to be dependent on you. There's many people who talk about the heart, but deeper is the soul. And I always say, when you're with somebody that you just feel that oozy feeling, that's not your heart, that's your soul on fire. Somebody's thrown the coal into the fire that's making you feel alive mentally and physically, and that's the relationship he had with this person. And then he talks in verse 2, and now you leave me as if I were anything, just like, but that can happen in relationships. You always tend to get one who's very involved emotionally and the other who is, but not as much, not as deep to the soul. It's more a heartfelt love being in your company, but I'm independent and I want to do my thing. And I think that's what's going on here. And if you leave me now, I won't be able to feel again. I think he feels the person he's with is too independent, too beautiful, too captivating, and has all the qualities to go off and be with another person. And maybe he's feeling doubts, I'm not as exciting to be with as I should be, because he's a singer, he's a performer, and at the end of the day he feels, even with those skills, my personality isn't as great. So we continue with the next two. And it says, it's hard for me to believe that you have no heart, that I was in your love's chain just a link, and in your ladder I was a step that you didn't care if you tread down or hurt it. So now we're getting to understand what this song is about. It's about he's feeling used, he's feeling not loved the way he loved the person, and he just feels because of his job, his fame, that person used him as a stepping stone for better things. And that happens a lot. We only have to recently in modern times look at how Amber Heard married Johnny Depp, and look what happened there. Now chorus, I am the prisoner among the threads of a poem. You who can save me or condemn me. You are the best of my past. You're the one who still makes me be in love with. You are only you. You are only you. And it continues, if you leave me now, my spirit will go after you. It'll ride on day and night, feeling itself a dreamer. Now, when it comes back to, and that was the chorus, I'm a prisoner among the threads of a poem. He almost feels like when he was writing this, it's very poetic how he feels, very light, very heartfelt. But when it comes to his memories of him with this woman, it's very much about, you know, I've got great memories when we first met, how we developed everything, how we were. And people tend to do that. If one person becomes not as attentive as the other person wants, then that leaves that person feeling not loved and used. And that's how Camilla felt. And he said, I have to say this correctly, you're who still make me be in love with. You're the person that makes me feel alive, my soul's alive, that I can be in love with a person, that I have these feelings for a person. And without you, he's feeling used, not loved, and he feels betrayed. So betrayal comes into this. Because he says, if you leave me now, my spirit will go after you. How many times do we leave people and we think about them and we think, with me they've not just taken my heart, they've taken my spirit, because my spirit to live now has died. That does happen until we meet somebody else and karma comes round to bring us happiness again. But he says it'll ride, if that does happen, the breakup, it'll ride on day and night, feeling itself a dreamer. In other words, his feelings and what he had will almost feel like a dream if you if I'm being used and you leave me, I'm going to be broken. I'm going to feel like it wasn't real. And yet I felt it was real. So he's confused and it's conflictive. And then he says, because you tied my skin to your skin and your mouth to my mouth. And that's when he touched himself in the video, remember. You nailed your mind to mine like a sword to a rock. And now you leave me as if I was anything. So we're getting to the point in the lyrics where he's now declared he met somebody, he was used, he felt his fame was the only thing that attracted this person, and now it's like a sword going into his heart. His heart's affected now, and he's thinking with his heart and his mind, because he's reflecting on the kisses, the sensitive touch. When he says skin to skin, he's talking of the intimate moments they shared, and it's all coming back to him, and it was so precious to him. It almost feels like, how could this have happened to me? But it happens to many people. It really does. The chorus continues, I'm a prisoner among the threads of a poem. You are who can save me and condemn me. You are only you, only you. And that's how it finishes. So only that person can save him by just telling him, look, I loved you. I wasn't using you. He wants to hear those things. Even if you feel you have been used in life, you look for a sign, a message from that person to say, look, we broke off because you were more in love with me. I just wanted to live my life. I wasn't ready for commitment. But when you get nothing, you imagine all kinds of things. You become angry. And I think Camilo was angry, and he was hurt, and he was confused with, he thought he found the true love of his life, and it didn't happen. But in the end, he says he's a prisoner of those words they shared, those thoughts, that skin to skin, that mouth to mouth. He's a prisoner of that. And how he writes the lyrics, he's a prisoner of writing it romantically, because that's how he felt about this person. And he finishes with, you are only you. In other words, he's accepted the breakup. He comes to the conclusion, you can only be only you. If you don't want to be with me, you're being true to yourself, and I respect that. And for that, I love the song. I love the ending. I love the journey he takes us on during this song. I love the lyrics, how he performs it, the feelings he puts into the performance. It's very soothing. It's almost angelic, because that's how he feels about the person, and it reflects in how he delivers when he sings it in his performance, as we had seen there. So that is the song. I hope you enjoyed my interpretation. Camilo Sesto, I'm so sorry I left it so long, but I will feature you again very soon. Si me dejas ahora is If You Leave Me Now, for me is one of the highlights of this year, because I really loved that performance and that song. So gracias to the fans for informing me to do this. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you. So don't forget to press like, comment, subscribe, and tell me your favorite song from Camilo, and maybe very soon it'll be the one that I feature. Take care. Bye bye.